Morning, everybody. This is Friday, June 17th, maybe 18th. I'm losing track of days. We didn't get a video done yesterday because there was a couple things that happened. One thing that happened the day before, the battery in the pickup went down, so I had to walk 2 additional miles to try and find somebody to jump it. And when I found somebody to jump it, we got back to the pickup took off by itself, so it's kind of funny. But the guy who picked us up, his name was Pete Cook, and he had his 2 little daughters with us. And let me tell you, there's another great American, an American family. They were out picking cattails and getting the pollen out of cattails for some reason. My sister knows the reason, I don't. But I'll tell you what, watching that man and his 2 little girls walking out in the ditches of the road, picking the cattail stuff, that was a very heartening experience, and he's a very, very good man. His wife runs a daycare and babysits on the side, so she wasn't with him that particular day. And then again, yesterday morning, we had a little bit of problem, got a late going. We couldn't find the keys to the pickup. Now that's kind of funny. We eventually did find them. How they ended up in the back seat, I'll never know, but they did. But so we got a little bit of a late start yesterday, and we put in 8 miles. The day before we put in 7. So it's we're sitting here in Lake City this morning. Lake City, Minnesota, just off of Lake Pepin. And I'm going to do a short little video right after this of Lake Pepin and give you an idea of what it looks like. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. It's part of the Mississippi River. It's a real wide point, and that's why they call it Lake Pepin. Last night after we got to Lake City, we talked to a couple over at Burger King, just outside of Burger King. He's a landscaper, and I'm not sure what his friend does, but I'll tell you what, there's another couple people that are worried about the direction our country's going in, and they agree with what my walk is about. So all along the road, we're running into people that care very greatly about the direction our country's going. They love our country. They love what it stands for, the symbolism, the principles, and the values, and we keep running into people all along the way that agree with everything that I agree with. Last night, after we got here, also after that incident with those two people, we ran into another lady, and she writes for a paper. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. I have it written down, or we have it written down. And she's also a reverend. Well, a few years ago, somebody had heard her speak or say a prayer somewhere, and they invited her to go up to the house, the Congressional House in Minnesota here, and pray for the opening session of Congress. So she did. She'd never been anywhere close to politics or anything like that in her life, but she went up and opened the House session for Congress in Minnesota with a prayer. Well, she's done that for 4 years in a row, and this past year she also opened the Senate up in prayer, their session. Boy, she's a wonderful lady, God-fearing woman, believes in America, believes in the Constitution, everything we stand for as Americans. Had a long talk with her afterwards before the rain. Then last night we had a big storm move through here. Possible tornadoes. We never got hit or anything, but we moved the pickup over to where there was a tornado shelter just in case. It's just an amazing trip so far again. So many good American people. Met a man this morning bright and early. He's out walking. He came over here. He's a veteran. He's also a doctor. Well, he's a professor, I guess, somewhere in Illinois. Retired. They moved up here to Lake City to enjoy the countryside and the small town living. Another God-fearing man. Another good American who who stands for everything that is good in America, just like you folks out there possibly watching this. Well, I tell you, on the road I've done a lot of thinking. Again, like I said, I've met a lot of people who have fear, trepidation, frustration, anger, you name the emotion. It's in every one of us right now as far as the direction our country is going in. I don't agree with everything that FDR did back in his day during the Great Depression. But he said a couple of truer words I don't believe have ever been spoke before, right when World War II started, and that's the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And in talking to these people, it just reminded me that we have nothing to fear as Americans if we stand together. I mean, I don't care what it is. Whether it be fear of our government, which a lot of people have right now, fear of the economics, fear of whether I'm going to have a job or not, whether I'm going to have health care or not for my family, whether I'm even going to be able to get the care that I need when I'm an older person or a very young person. I mean, these fears are very real for a lot of people in our country. We have come so used to living in fear in this country. We're afraid to send our kids to school. There are some people who are afraid to go to work, maybe, because they're not sure that maybe there's somebody that's unstable in their workplace, and he might just fly off the rocker and start killing people. We have fear of living in fear of terrorism around the country, especially in New York City and bigger cities. Down in Arizona, there's fear on both sides of the immigration issue, but the main fear that most people down in Arizona have in the border states is fear of the immigrants coming across the border. You know, we need to close that border and those borders down there. There are places down there where the Border Patrol won't even go anymore because it's so infested with illegal aliens with weapons down there that they're afraid to go in there. I mean, why are we living in fear? This is our country. This isn't the government's country. This is our country. It's your country, and it's my country. It's my sister's country. It's everybody out here's country. Now, why are we living in fear? Because we are being divided by elements within our own government. We are being divided by special interest groups, unions, all kinds of stuff. Goons who are professing they want revolution in our country. They want to tear down our country. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I think it's time for every one of us, you and me together, to stand together, because it's only then where we can alleviate the fear that we have within our own hearts. And I'm telling you right now that the direction our country's going in, I have a fear, and this is one of the reasons I've added this other reason for walking this year. I have a fear of violence within our own borders. I have a fear of the Tea Party, the people being attacked by the other side. We've already seen some evidence of that in some rallies and some things that have happened. We've seen bottle throwing and vandalism during rallies in San Francisco, down there in Arizona, shouting and everything like that, and calling people names, racist, terrorists, things like that. You know, I'm not any of those. How can they call me something when they don't even know me? But I have a real fear of violence within our country before the elections, and possibly even after the elections. And these are things that I'm walking for. Peace. I stand for peace like Dr. Martin Luther King did. I stand for peace like Mahatma Gandhi. I stand for peace like our God wants us to have peace within ourselves. As long as we care about each other and stand together, we'll be okay. We have nothing to fear. Anyway, that's enough for now. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, go to my website, ourgreatwalk.com, OurGreatWalk.com. or send me an email at woodsman6119, woodsman, WOODSMAN 6119 at yahoo.com. Please, let's stand together to right the wrongs that our country has right now. We as an American people, if we stand together, we can right the wrongs, but we know that we can solve our problems, but we know government can't solve them. They only make them worse. God bless you. God bless America, and have a great day.